Yo, what's up guys, this is Jonathan from TechTeachers, and today we're going to be taking a look at the electric vehicle versus ICE engine and how much it would cost to use it for 5 years. So without much ado, let's roll the intro.
If you haven't subscribed to my channel, do it right now by hitting the subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
So for comparison, we're going to use a benling Aura, which roughly costs around the 90,000 rupees mark on the EV side, and we're going to use Honda Activa 6G or even 5G, which costs around 90 to 95,000. Now, the reason that we did not use bikes on the EV side or even the ICE engine side is because on the EV side, bikes aren't that popular or there aren't a lot of models available. But on the ICE side, there are a lot of bikes available like the Splendor or even the Bajaj Pulsar, which is quite famous. But if we compare a bike to an EV or a bike to a scooty, that won't be an apples to apple comparison. So we're going to use benling Aura on the EV side and an Activa 6C on the ICE engine side. So with that out of equation, now let's suppose you have spent 90,000 rupees on road buying benling Aura and again 90,000 rupees buying Honda Activa 6G, and you travel 50 kilometers on a daily basis. So first let's talk on the EV side. You can take any EV as I mentioned, but let's talk benling Aura, which gives 100 kilometers of average range. So if you travel 50 kilometers per day, that means you will have to charge your benling Aura once for every 2 days of usage. And that means even if you take 30 days a month as an average, benling Aura, you will have to charge it 15 times a month. And in Hyderabad city, electricity prices ranges between it is different in every area, but even if you take as an average 5 rupees per kilowatt, benling Aura has a battery capacity of 2.88 kilowatt. Even if we round it up with 3 kilowatt, that means you will have to charge twice, once for every 2 days. That means 15 times in a month. So in an average, if you charge, if 1 kilowatt costs 5 rupees, that means 3 kilowatt will cost 15 rupees per charge, per full charge. So that means on an average, you will have to charge it 15 times. So 15 rupees into 15 times, that will cost 175 rupees for using 1 month. Let's round it up with 200 rupees because sometimes the range might go above 100, sometimes even under 100. So let's take an average that it will cost you 200 rupees of running cost for an entire month, even if you consider you're not taking holidays and if you are traveling on a daily basis with 50 kilometers average. Now let's change our minds towards the ICE side, that is Honda Activa 6G. Now Honda Activa, the company claims 45 kilometers per liter of range. However, in city, as we all know, even in the economy mode, it won't give you more than 40 kilometers of average range. So that's 40 kilometers per liter, and the petrol prices range different across the country, as we know. But let's take an average for simple math. Let's take an average of 100 rupees per liter. So that means to travel 50 kilometers in day, you will need somewhere around 1.25 liter of petrol, right? So that means if you travel 50 kilometers a day, and that would be 1500 kilometers on average, 1500 kilometers for a 30-day month. That means, as I said, if you travel 50 kilometers, it will cost you 125 rupees worth of petrol for traveling 50 kilometers per day. So in an average, if you multiply 125 rupees into 30 days that you're traveling, that would cost you 3,750 rupees. So just here, if you use an EV, it will cost you 200 rupees of running cost, and here it's 3,750. So just by switching or just by using EV for a month, you will save 3,550 rupees on running cost. So not to mention an ICE engines, you will have to take it to mechanics and get it serviced for every 2,000 kilometers, which will cost you roughly around 700 to 800, and even sometimes you will have to spend 1,000 rupees for some nominal charges. So even if you take your ICE vehicle to service for every 3 months, yeah, on average, even if you take it for 3 months, that means in a year you will have to take it to service for 4 times. That means you will have to spend 4,000 per year. Now per year you're spending 4,000 on just servicing, and on the EV side, as we know, there aren't a lot of moving parts, so you don't have to take it to service every 3 months. Even if you take it to service for 6 months or even once a year, that won't matter so much. Now, what happens if you use your EV and your ICE engine vehicle for 5 years? Now, let's talk the running costs again, and then we're going to add the maintenance cost for both the vehicles. Also, the fact that we all know that EVs batteries will deplete after a regular cycle of usage. So for now, even if you want to replace benling or a battery pack, which is a 3 kilowatt, roughly around the 3 kilowatt battery pack, it will cost you around 40,000. So we're gonna subtract that after 5 years. But first, let's talk about the running cost of the benling Aura. So it will, on an average, as we mentioned, it will cost you 200 rupees for a month of usage. So in a year, there would be 12 months. So let's calculate 200 into 12. That will be 2,400 rupees. Now we're going to use it for 5 years. So that's 2,400 into 5. So that's going to cost 12,000 rupees on an average for the running cost. Now on the maintenance side, let's add 1,000 rupees per year. Okay, let's be generous. Let's add 2,000 rupees for 1 year. Let's even suppose that you're going to take your EV to service for every 6 months. There might be some brake clutch issues. There might be some other minor issues that you want to take to your EV just to maintain it at a good cost or get a good condition. So even that would be 2,000 rupees per year. So that's 2,000 into 5, that's 10,000. So it will cost 22,000 rupees for the running cost for 5 years. Now, initially, as we mentioned, it will cost us 90,000 rupees of purchasing the benling Aura. So, on an average for 5 years, the running cost for benling Aura would be 1,12,000, considering the purchasing price. Now, even if we feel that we want to, if the battery is not giving us that good of a range, and if we want to change or replace our battery, considering today's tech and today's standards, it would cost us 40,000 rupees. So we will add 40,000 rupees. That would cost 1,52,000 rupees for purchasing and running the benling Aura for 5 years. Now let's switch to the ICE engine or the Honda Activa 6G. Now Honda Activa 6G, it will cost us 3,750 rupees per month on the EV, on the running cost. So that means a year has 12 months. So that would be 3,750 into 12. So that's 45,000 per year. Now, if we multiply that 45,000 into 5, that would cost us 2,25,000 just for the running cost. Not to mention, there is also a maintenance cost. We are not even considering the puncture or all other extra services that comes with the ICE engine, but we're just considering the service cost that is roughly around 4,000 rupees per year. So that's plus 4,000 rupees into, we're going to calculate for 5 years, that's 4,000 rupees into 5. That would be 2,45,000 just for the running and maintenance cost. Not to mention, there is also this 90,000 rupees purchase cost. So that's 2,45,000 plus a 90,000 rupees as a purchase cost. So in an average, if you use your ICE engine for 5 years, that would cost you 3,35,000. And what was on the EV side, it was just 1,52,000. I know there are a lot of benefits for using an ICE engine. You can fuel it up anywhere you want in any part of the city, and you don't have to wait for it to charge like on the EV side. But if you consider all that, if you just subtract 1,52,000 rupees, that is with new battery on the benling Aura, which means even after 5 years of usage, you would be able to use it for another 5 years. That means it will give you 10 years of usage. I know ICE also lasts for 10 years, but the running cost, even in the 5 years, it's a lot of money. The running cost is exactly double, or it's even more than double the actual ownership of the vehicle. So now, even if I subtract the 1,52,000 cost, which is the purchase, the maintenance and the running cost of the EV, that would get the price of Honda Activa to 1,83,000. So that means if you would have not purchased the ICE vehicle, and if you would have purchased a benling or any other EV which gives you an average real world range of 100 kilometers, you would easily save 83,000. Now, I haven't even considered the fact that petrol prices generally rise every year. What was the price of petrol before 5 years? It was roughly around the 70 to 75 rupees mark in India, even if you take the average, and now it's more than 100 rupees. We never know what would be the price after 5 years, considering inflation, also considering the rising petrol fuel prices. So in that case, the running cost would not be what I mentioned of 2,25,000. It might even cross 3 lakh rupees. And on the EV side, what you can do is you can even spend some money, even 20,000 rupees, by installing a solar panel in your house. And once you install that, and if you use that power to charge your EV, that means essentially you will have your EV for free, because after 5 years of usage, the price that you're gonna save on not choosing for the ICE, you can buy another EV. That means essentially after 5 years of running cost, considering the running cost of the petrol vehicles are so high, that essentially an EV would be free of cost for using 5 years. Now, I'm not saying you to not purchase an ICE engine or go ahead and right away purchase benling or hell not. It is not the perfect EV. There are a lot of options available, but this is just to show you that we haven't even touched on the environmental and sustainability factor within how much issue or how much of a problem an ICE engine or petrol gives to the environment. I know for a fact that manufacturing lithium-ion batteries also costs, and it also does some harm to the environment. But on the longer run, if you switch to an EV, that will give you, not only that will save your pocket, but it will also be good for the environment. And as I said, if you consider all those good factors, it urges me to say go purchase an EV. Perhaps not a benling Aura, not an Ola, not an Ather, whatever you want to purchase, but do consider purchasing an EV. Or you can, if you want to purchase, if you have someone who wants to purchase a two-wheeler and is trying to go for an ICE, considering that EV takes hours to charge, in that case, just show them this video and tell them that they're gonna save a lot of money by just making a switch to an EV. So that pretty much winds up the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you did and feel like the one who's privileged to have an awesome supporting audience like you feeling, make sure to crack the like button. But if you thought this video sucked, you better know what to do. But if you loved it and want to see more such awesome videos along with this new studio, then it's no better time than hit subscribe button. Until then, this has been your host Jonathan from Tech Teachers and Shaker behind the camera, signing off.